Anybody else has joined us, and it's a couple of minutes. It's actually 5 after. I didn't realize it was as late as it was. I'm going to get us started. So, first things first, ACA reporting. I know it's your favorite topic. It looks like they're saying no more good faith. So, your ACA reporting has to be perfect. Otherwise, you could be subject to penalties and fines. So, if you have not received any 226J letters or a letter saying that your 17, 18, 19 filing had errors, that's a good thing. But if you have, and there were errors on your part, you probably want to make sure that you don't have those errors again, because it looks like going into next year, we are no longer going to have that good faith effort, and we want to make sure that those reports are being filled out correctly. So, Diana, one of my fave Tuesday Talk fans, just made the comment that she's going to let Cynthia do the reporting this year because she's always done it. So she's going to hand that off. I don't blame her. So the other things I wanted to talk about are legislation that's came out pretty much at the end of July. And I probably should have hit on it last week, but I didn't have my arms around it enough. You know, a lot of times we get these regs and they are multiple pages, and I had not read through them in their entirety, and I don't like to talk about them unless I know enough about them. So, the first thing is, in the topic, you'll see IFR, Surprise Billing IFR. That is Interim Final Rules for the No Surprises Billing Act, which was passed under the Consolidated Appropriations Act at the end of December last year. And the No Surprises Act basically says there are restrictions on when an out-of-network healthcare provider or facility can balance bill an individual. So it's mainly for emergency room, air ambulance, clinicians at an in-network facility that happen to be out of network. So the way the rules are set up is that if a member goes to an in-network facility and it's for, emergency services or air ambulance or something like that, the provider cannot balance bill if they are not network to that individual. There are a lot of notices involved. A lot of the notices are on the facility and the provider side and the insurance carrier side. There is a notice that employers that are self-funded have to post, and we will, we have a model notice on that, and obviously we'll be working with our self-funded clients on that. So just be aware that that goes into effect December 27th, 2021. So you'll start, you may start getting questions about that or seeing notices. Insurance carriers are going to have to send a notice out with an explanation of benefits that talks about the No Surprises Act and why there's no balance billing. There are options if you choose to go to an out-of-network provider and it's non-emergency care, that the provider can give the individual a notice that says, I know I'm going to an out-of-network physician and I agree to pay it. They can balance bill me. And the individual signs off on that. So with that, that's federal law. So there are many states that have a No Surprises Act or No Surprises Billing piece of legislation. Kentucky is not one of those. So we don't have any interplay between a state law and a federal law in Kentucky. However, we do see that in other states. So if you are in a state, if you're watching this and you're not in Kentucky, and you're in a state that has a state No Surprises Act billing type law, the federal law is not trying to upend it. It's just basically If the state law has the same requirements as the federal law, the state law applies. If the state law has partial coverage, which means maybe they do some things, but not all the things, that's going to fall on the federal side. So just be aware of that going forward. And again, it's for to prevent surprise balance billing for services provided at an in-network facility by an out-of-network clinician, or if it's air ambulance, because those are not network, period. It only is going to require the individual to pay the in-network portion. And again, it's only for it's only for emergent care. If it's non-emergent care, it doesn't really apply. So keep that in mind. There are some things that go on behind the scenes with negotiating billing and contracting rates between the provider and the insurer, but that's not anything that we need to be concerned about. I will say this, for all plans, self-funded and fully insured, carriers are going to have to change the way they do things. They're going to have to upgrade systems. They're going to have to pay to determine rates. They're going to have to pay for arbitration possibly. So there could be some financial impact on rates because of that. But we have no idea what that's going to look like yet. So just keep that in mind. Any questions on the No Surprises Act? Okay, I'm going to jump in real quick. This is actually a little bit older. This actually came out in May, and it was an IRS notice on the taxation of dependent care benefits. So, theoretically, what should happen when someone has a dependent care flexible spending account? If they get reimbursed more than the statutory limit due beyond the standard grace period of 2.5 months, that excess amount on the statutory limit is treated as taxable income. So basically you lose that pre-tax benefit if you're going above and beyond the statutory limit outside of the grace period. However, with the Consolidated Appropriations Act last year in December, we were given some relief for FSA plans, including being able to roll funds over, extend grace periods, that sort of thing, change elections. So the notice that we received in May, which was IRS Notice 2021-26, says that on a dependent care FSA, if the money over the statutory limit is paid out beyond that grace period, and it is from the prior year's unused funds, it is not taxable. So your FSA vendor, I'm sure, is aware of this and taking care of this for you. As I was looking at the Consolidated Appropriations Act and what we've got new from it recently, I wanted to just call that out, that if that money on a dependent care FSA comes from the prior year's unused funds, and it exceeds the statutory limit, it is not considered taxable income. So if you've got any questions on that, please feel free to let me know. Last but not least, we received, I got two things actually. We received a update on FAQs on the COBRA American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA. That came out July 26 in IRS Notice 2021-46, I believe it was. Yes, 46. So just some lingering questions. I think for the most part, we've addressed some of these, but I just wanted to hit them at a high level. There should also be a blog post on the Bim Group website that goes over all of this in detail if you're curious. But one thing we've talked about previously is if someone is in an extended COBRA period due to Social Security disability, or they are had a secondary qualifying event, that the COBRA subsidy is still eligible to them in that extended period. So the COBRA subsidies did not extend the 18 months, and so anybody that's in that qualified extension is either the 29 months for disability, 36 months for divorce, whatever that second qualifying event may be, up to 36 months. If that person has not notified a plan or insurer that they intend to elect extended COBRA coverage, and they do, or maybe they find out they do want it, they are eligible for that premium subsidy. So, someone who involuntarily terminated employment in October of 2019, who would normally lose COBRA continuation after March 31st, 2021, however, they receive a disability determination in March that states they were disabled as of November of 2019, and they get 29 months of COBRA, they are eligible for that premium subsidy between April 10th, 2021, or April 1st, 2021 through September. So, we kind of knew that already, but they clarified that. The other thing that they clarified that I thought was really important, and I didn't get this question, and all the questions I received on ARPA, was that if a person is on COBRA and they're getting premium assistance for medical, dental, and vision, and they get health coverage at another employer, and they want to drop the health plan and go on the new employer's health plan, but the new health plan doesn't have vision or dental, the COBRA subsidy no longer applies. So if they want to keep dental and vision, they're going to have to pay for it. So I'm going to say that again. The coverage can still be eligible. Let's see. I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. If in order for an assistance eligible individual to get premium assistance for COBRA with just dental or vision, they are not eligible to do that if they become eligible for other group health plan coverage or Medicare. The AEI can no longer receive premium assistance even if that coverage does not provide dental or vision benefits. So one more time. I'm an AEI. I'm on COBRA premium subsidy assistance. I have medical, dental, and vision. I have become eligible for Medicare. So I'm going to drop medical because I'm going to go on Medicare, but I don't have dental and vision and I want to keep my dental and vision. I'm going to have to pay the premium for my dental and vision. The premium subsidy is no longer available. There's also, in that FAQ that came out, talks about if a state requires continuation of coverage for state or local government employees, and it's comparable to federal COBRA, they're entitled to assistance. I don't think we have anybody that falls in that category. It also noted that who is eligible to claim the premium subsidy. And there was one piece of this information that I was like, what? Obviously the common law employer claims the subsidy for the employee. However, if it's a small group that is not subject to COBRA, and the small group is having to offer state mandated continuation coverage through the state, the individuals paying COBRA premiums to the insurance carrier, the common law employer is who's eligible for the tax credit, not the carrier. That was completely contrary to what we originally thought. We thought that the carrier would be able to get that credit, but that's not how it is. So the insurer does not get to claim the credit. The employer gets to claim the credit, even though the individual is paying the COBRA premium to the carrier. There's also a question about several members of a control group, so that each individual employer within that control group can claim their own employee. There's a question about if a plan covers employees of two or more unrelated employers, then each common law employer gets to claim their employee. So not a lot of questions, but a lot of clarity that we didn't really have and didn't really think would make sense is in that latest reg notice. So if you've got a specific question and you're not sure if you're eligible to claim the tax credit or not as an employer, please let me know. And then last but not least, and this was something we actually posted about in the Tuesday Talk group. We've had a couple of clients receive emails from Anthem with a, hey, here's your new wire transfer instructions with a person's name. It looks legitimate. It's got a logo on it. It has wiring information. Unless someone from our office, along with an Anthem representative together that you've talked to in the past, has called you and said your wire transfers information is changing, disregard it. It's a scam. We did get that confirmed by Anthem. We had an employer that received a letter, very legitimate looking wire instructions we sent over to Anthem. It was not from Anthem. So let's just make sure if you get something like that, that you speak to us and or the Anthem office together and confirm if it's legitimate or not. If you're not with Anthem, you're with another carrier, the same would hold true. There's so much out there today that is not legitimate. We just want to make sure that if you're changing a process and we've not talked to you about it, or you've not talked to your everyday rep about it, confirm if it's legitimate or not. I did say last but not least, but I do have one more thing. That made me think of the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield antitrust settlement. So if you've got information on that, or questions about that, you can go to it's BCBS Settlement Administrators, I believe. I said that. BCBSsettlement.com, and find out more information about how to file for that. That's for employers and or individuals that were covered by Anthem for a many-year period, depending on if it was fully insured or self-funded. We've talked about it in the past. I think there's a couple of Tuesday Talk videos that you could go back and check on that. So just be aware that there could be an opportunity to file that claiming, and that is due early November. It is the filing deadline to opt out has passed. That was the end of July. So if you want to opt in, file a claim, you have now between now and I think November 2nd to actually do that. So any questions before we go? I know it's kind of the quick down and dirty as always, but I like to keep these short so you can get back to what you're doing. All right. Well, if you think of something, let me know. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching. And you can leave your questions below and I can go back and answer them. Or you can reach me at deanna@bimgroup.us, or give me a call at our office at 859-255-9455, extension 123. And Diana, as always, thank you for joining. And if you think of anything you've got questions with, please let me know. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.